Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. I will rejoice. I will rejoice. And be glad in it. Be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm excited about this day. I'm up early, out and about early. I normally would be just getting out of the bed, but this morning I am on an assignment. I have been given a task to complete. So I've been given an assignment, and because I've been given an assignment, I must complete it. And it's, it's part of, right now it's part of a requirement. With that being said, we go through things as leaders. We go through things as people. And when we go through different things, there are people that are assigned to you. When they are assigned to you, that means you're going through something and God says, okay, I need you to go and see about Sister Kim. Good morning. I need you to go and see about Sister Kim. You may not know who Sister Kim is, but he tells you directly, he gives you instructions on where to go, how to find Sister Kim. I'm going to use me for an example. A couple of years ago, it's been more than about 3-4 years ago, we was living in Hinesville, and during this time, it was really rough. It was rough to the point where, I would see myself and I didn't look like myself. I don't know if it was because we was in a new environment, we didn't know anyone, it was more so we was, lonely. Me and my husband in ministry, trying to build ministry, trying to move, trying to adjust to a new area and everything. And I remember going to take my son to the doctor, and while the doctor was there, I was recording my son, and then I had my son to turn around and record me. So when he recorded me, I looked at myself and I was like, oh, that don't even look like me. Is that me? And I began to ask God. I said, God, this does not look like me. I look depressed. I I looked it bad. I looked it really bad. If I go back and I show y'all that video, you'll be like, oh my gosh, it's you? Well, it was me. And I began to start posting and different things that I was posting. I received a phone call, and the phone call was like, she was telling me, she said, the Lord said that, you've been in the heart of a witch, that they were sent to attack you, and that's why you was in the place that you were in. And I was like, oh my gosh, so she prayed for me, and she gave me strict instructions. But my husband, he was working at the McDonald's, in Midway. Then he's a manager there. And while he was in there, a prophetess walked in. And when the prophetess walked in, she walked to the counter, and she began to talk to my husband. And by this time, my name wasn't the same on Facebook. So she was saying my husband first time meeting her first time meeting my husband, but she had heard of him. So she was like, by the way, they went to talking, and she began to say, is your wife is Lashunda? And he was like, yes, ma'am, that's my wife. He was like, she said, God told me that I need to get in touch with her, that I need to talk to her. I have a word for her from God. She was like, so I need to find your wife. So immediately my husband, by this time, he calls me and everything, and I reach out to her via Facebook. She sets up a time for us to talk, because she's a very busy, she's she's a well-known prophetess. And here I am as little me, and she began to talk to she set up, and I said, okay, we met. We didn't actually meet, but I called her on the phone, and then she began to talk to me on the phone. She said, the Lord has sent me on assignment to pray for you and to cover you. And I was like, me? She was like, yeah. She said, I'm on an assignment. She said, the Lord told me to pray for you and cover you. She said, because of the things that you've been going through, this lady never seen me in person, never had a conversation with me, but she began to speak about the things that was going on in my life. And she said, on today, she said, the Lord said for me to resuscitate you. She said, because of the fact that you have been going through to the point where you're near the point of death. And the woman of God began to speak into my life. She began to prophesy. She began to pray. She began to pull down strongholds. She began to pull out things that were in me, and she began to come against every witch, every warlock, everybody that had peeped into my destiny and was trying to destroy me. And she gave warning. She said, they have to be very careful, because you are a very precious jewel to God, and that God really needs to use you. And when that woman of God prayed for me and she covered me, and oh my gosh, some things broke. And when it broke that day, she began to tell me that this was her job, and she will continue to pray until the Lord tells her to stop. And I said all this to say is sometimes we go through things in life, and people don't understand why God placed that person in your life. God places the people in your life to cover you, to pray for you, to encourage you, to help bring you out. But sometimes some people get the assignment mixed up, because they feel like once that person comes into your life, that is permanent. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes that person is only in your life for a season. And that's because there was an assignment that God had placed upon them to pray for you and cover you and to help pull you out. And once you come out, the assignment is complete. And this is, and I'm saying this because I was somebody's assignment. And right now I may be I may be assigned to someone else. But God places you there for a season to complete the assignment. Once you complete the assignment, whenever the teacher gives you an assignment and you complete it, you have to turn the assignment in for it to be graded. You can't keep the assignment in your lap. You can't keep it at the desk, because when you keep it at the desk or when you keep it in your lap, it can never get graded. God can't grade your assignment. He can't. You can't get a grade for something that you're holding on to. Sometimes you can't. Those assignments are not permanent. They are just as they are. Complete the assignment and release it. Some of us have a problem with releasing the assignment that God has given you. We want to hold on to it. We want to coddle it because sometimes we get attached to it. And every assignment is not meant for us to get attached to. And you'll understand your assignment and your season is up, because it could be fine one day, and then the next day, it's like it's a struggle to keep because some of us build relationships with our assignment, and it's hard to release it. And then I began to speak to a woman of God this week about certain things, and she said, some things are an assignment. You have to learn to let the assignment go. And I am the type of person, I love hard. I keep people close. But I do understand when something is an assignment. I do understand when it's time to let go, because let me tell you, when it's time to let go and you're not letting it go, it's like it's chaos. It's a struggle to keep the same relationship that you had before. It's a struggle to keep it. It's like you pulling and tugging on something that's no longer yours. You're pulling and tugging on an assignment that's no longer yours. God may have had you to intercede and pray for somebody and pull somebody out of the pits of hell. But once you got that person back got them out of the place that they was and got them into a place where they're supposed to be, God will say, take your hands off of them. I got it from here. Your assignment is complete. We got to learn to stop holding on to our assignment once it's done. We got to give it back to God. We got to let the assignment go and let it go forth, and so it can move the way God wants it to move. That woman of God, she did her assignment when she came to me and she prayed and she got me to that place where I was. It was time for her to let go. She knew how to let go. She understood the assignment. Some of us don't. We say we understand, but we don't understand. And that's how sometimes we get hurt, because what we're holding on to wasn't purpose just for us to have for a long period of time. It's a time and a season for everything. And we use the word season. Some people are only in our life for a season. So I want to encourage you to know. We say we know, I understand our assignment. We know our assignment. But to be honest, some of us don't know that our assignment. Some of us don't know how, when we get finished with, when the Lord has told us to do, when we've done what the Lord told us to do. And they're at the place where they need to be. We got to be able to release. And some of us have a problem with releasing. I got up this morning and the Lord said, you got to say something. And I don't like Facebook. I don't like to go live, because you could feel, sometimes you can get on here and you could feel the stronghold. You could feel people praying against you. You could feel those type of things and, tugging and pulling on you, besides the part that you may have a little fear. But God began to deal with me about this thing called assignment, and that some people are just an assignment. You've been just an assignment to someone, and someone don't know how to let that assignment go. And you wondering why we're going through the warfare and catching hell here and there, because we're holding on to something that it was time for us to let go. We can't hold on to the assignment and try to maneuver it the way that we feel like it should go. Because some of us are taking the assignment and we'll try to control it. But we can't control it. We got to let it go. We can't just keep going and holding on to things that God has said let go of. Because they were seasonal. They were only for a season. They were only there temporarily. They weren't meant to be permanent. We have to and it hurt. Yes, it hurt sometimes because we want to hold on to them, but they weren't meant to be permanent. We fall in love with our assignment. But it wasn't meant that way. It was not meant that way. So I just want to encourage you all today, because it was just when I was talking, and I had the Lord say, call the apostle and talk to her. And as I began to talk to her, and she began to and she said to me, she said, do you feel like things are, she said, when she explained it to me, and she said, some things are just an assignment. You have to, when the assignment is complete, you have to let it go. So be encouraged. It hurts sometimes when you try to hold on to an assignment, or when you feel like you done did the assignment and you feel like it's not going the way that the Lord showed you that it would go. You've done your part. You completed your assignment, and it's up to the person that God has had you to pull out of the pit to make the decision where they go from there. So I love y'all. I'm getting off live, but please know that some things are temporary. They're seasonal, and they're an assignment. They're not meant to be permanent. They are not meant to be permanent. Be encouraged. Yes, it happens many times, and and the thing about it is, we don't understand when I'm the type of person that when God lets you know that it was an assignment and you got to pull away, and they're steady trying to make the situation more, and it's only an assignment, and you're not understanding why you going through this or why you feel this way. But God had to understand that it was only temporary, that was part of your assignment, and that part of your assignment is over. So I'm coming off live. Y'all be encouraged. Love y'all.